morning, the stand mixer's out. And generally, every time the stand mixer's out, it usually means that I am making bread. Not today. Today, we are going to make peanut butter chocolate chip cookies because, yeah, why not? So, let's get into it, shall we? I'm going to go with a cup of, okay, so I'm going to go with a full cup of salted butter. I'm still going to add salt to the recipe. I'm just not going to add as much as if I wasn't using salted butter and I was using unsalted butter. And it's completely room temperature. I took it out last night in anticipation for this video. You want it nice and soft because we're going to cream the butter with the sugars. Yeah, because we're using two. We're going to use 1 cup of granulated white sugar and we're going to use 1 cup of packed brown sugar. So I always start with the white sugar first. I don't know why, but years ago I was an absolute terrible baker, had no clue, and I had a baking session with my madre-in-law, love her, and she gave me an hour crash course in how to bake. We're talking like 5, 6, 7 years ago, and her number 1 rule is whatever you do it consistently each and every time. Because I've always started with white sugar, we're going to go ahead and get 1 cup of white sugar right now. The other really important thing I learned years ago from my madre-in-law when baking is that baking is a fine science, as I'm sure you all know, and you need to measure accordingly. So I'm going to, I don't know if you can, right? This is all wonky, right? It's not even, that's not a true 1/4 cup measurement, right? Because it's a full cup of granulated white sugar. I've already added 3/4 of a cup. So over here, what I'm going to do, oh, hashtag COVID-19. Keep getting interrupted. Alright, finishing the train of thought here. So it's all wonky. I'm pretty sure I showed you the wonkiness. That's not a proper measurement. You need to make sure things are level. So I always use the same knife, okay, and it's very level. I'm not using it this way because this is not level. Look at how it angles. Okay? Like this. We're gonna take it from here and we're gonna go back towards me. And obviously I'm doing this over the canister. So that all the sugar is not all over the counter, although some of it is. And then we're going to go forward, back, forward. Completely, perfectly level. That is a proper measurement. Okay? So that is my full cup. We're going to put this down, and we're just going to let it cream together until it's smooth. We'll come back and we'll show you what we're looking for. Alright, so we've got our brown sugar in the bowl. It's at the 1 cup mark, right? It looks good, right? No, it doesn't. You know why it doesn't? Because it's not packed. We want packed brown sugar. So what that means is we're legit going to smush her down, pack it in, okay? It'll shoot out into your bowl when you flip it over like a log or a brick. That's totally fine, okay? So we want 1 full cup of packed tight brown sugar. Now, the deeper coloring of brown sugar you use, I mean, I'm using a light brown sugar. If you were to use the dark brown sugar, then well, it's slightly more, but that's okay. Sorry. Actually, we're going to take some out and I'll put it back. If you're using the darker brown sugar, you're just using, it'll be darker in a product when you're finished, but also, there we go, it'll be a deeper, richer flavor because of the molasses that's in there, right? So we're going to move you over here so you can see the consistency of the beaten butter and the white sugar. So it's nice and creamy. At this point, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our brown sugar. See? Just like a brick. And we're gonna cream that together. At this point, you're gonna want to put the lock on your stand mixer, or if you're using a handheld mixer, hold the bowl. All right, and we're gonna let this cream together for about 1 to 2 minutes until it's a really nice paste. If yours looks like this, it's not really creamed together. Just, oh, see, she's heavy. Let's try and do this with elbow support. Really need to get a tripod. Okay, just shove her back in the bowl, okay, and then just put her back on. You may have to do this once or twice, but you just really want to make sure everything's creamed together. This is not creamed together properly. Just want to be clear. Look at how pretty that looks. Now that is creamed together. Okay, it's looking really good and creamy. It's all blended. It's looking lovely. Okay. You ready to do this? Because now we're going to have some fun. Not really. This is where things can be complicated. But take your time. You'll be fine. So we're going to use 2 eggs. We're going to do them one at a time. And what we're going to do is lightly, we're not beating it fully, but we're just breaking it apart. Okay? We're just breaking it apart. And that is so that we make sure that the whole egg mixes in perfectly. So one at a time. Okay? While you got your first one going, get your second one going. And it's a good idea that after you've added in each ingredient, so after we add in the eggs and we've let it go, to get your spatula and scrape down the sides and give it another good 10-15 seconds in your stand mixer to make sure that all of that ingredient has been incorporated into your recipe. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add the second egg. Now I'm not going to put the bowl in the sink, and I'm going to show you why in a second, okay? Just keep the bowl. We try to reduce on the waste here, right? Like, I don't want to be washing dishes for hours, especially because I have a meeting in like an hour. So wouldn't that be lovely for why I made cookies? No. Alright, so we're just going to let it go. We're going to stop it, lift, and we're going to scrape down these sides. This is what I mean by scrape. Get all of the stuff, because I know that those eggs haven't fully incorporated in the entire mixture, okay? And you're going to find the same thing when you add in your flour and your peanut butter. Now, yes, I'm using peanut butter. If you want to use a nut butter or like a vegan butter, you know, if you have a nut allergy, please feel free to substitute that. I don't have a nut allergy in this house, so kids love peanut butter. That's what we're going to go with. Okay, so I'm giving that a really good mix. Let's take a look. It looks lovely, right? All right. So now we are going to want warm, almost hot water. Okay, and we're going to want 2 tablespoons of warm, almost hot water. And we're going to want 1 tablespoon. No. 2 tablespoons of hot water. And then we're going to want 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And I'm just going to reuse the egg bowl because it's dirty, and cool beans, I'm okay with that. And again, we are leveling off, okay? 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, okay? And once we get the 2 tablespoons of hot water in here, we're going to mix it because we want it to dissolve, okay? 1 tablespoon. It's going to get a little frothy. It's okay. It's 2 tablespoons. It's going to get a little frothy. Don't even worry about it. I have legit been developing this recipe for the better part of 7 years. People seem to really appreciate the texture and the taste of this. It's not going to look like your store-bought cookie, but it's going to taste out of this world. so we're going to now add this frothy, let's see if you can see it, this frothy texture here to the bowl. Okay, now you can go ahead and toss it back. And we're going to give this a mix. So we'll let it do its thing and we'll be right back. Okay, while that's going, I'm going to add in a half a teaspoon of baking soda. And I'm going to add in a half a teaspoon of salt. Now, yes, we use salted butter. If you don't want to use salted butter, you don't have to. That's a me preference thing because I am going to be putting chocolate and peanut butter and so forth into this. Beautiful. You my teaspoon? You are my teaspoon. Holla. Okay. So now we're going to go with 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I never measure these ingredients out. This is entirely my own recipe and I kind of just go by eye and feel. I understand that baking is a fine science. That's why I'm trying to measure it out for all of you. I am a cook at heart, my friends. Okay. Back down she goes and let's give her a whirl. Gosh, okay. Don't forget to scrape down the sides of your bowl. Okay, in between. Smelling very peanut buttery. That's lovely. Okay, and now we're going to add a second cup. So just want you to see the consistency after 2 cups. It's very creamy, but we still need a 3rd cup of flour, which is what I thought. But you can always put in more. You can never take away. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to measure out our 3rd cup of flour and get it in. Okay, so 3 cups was exactly what we needed. It looks lovely. I'm going to give the sides of the bowl here a scrape down, give it another mix, and then we're going to go with, that's flour. That's also flour. Wow. We're going to add the peanut chips and the chocolate chips, and then we'll be back. Let's scrape down the bowl. Okay, so I'm using peanut butter chips. I always say about 2 cups between the peanut butter and the chocolate is sufficient. I mean, that's a lot. I go half a bag, okay? So one of these bags of peanut butter chips gets me 2 recipes. And then I like itty bitty little chocolate chips, but that's completely up to you. And I like semi-sweet because this is sweet enough, right? You've got the 2 sugars, you've got the peanut butter. Totally sweet enough, so the semi-sweet is nice. I'm not a fan of dark chocolate, or else you'd probably try dark chocolate. And again, half a bag for me is usually my jam. So we're going to go ahead and give this a mix. Okay, our dough is mixed and it looks perfect. It looks absolutely beautiful. It smells lovely. Yo, I'm excited. Are you excited? So if you made it this far and you're baking with me, or you're following my recipe, then yo, hashtag you're a baker and an all-star. You got this. Okay, one of the most important parts about baking, aside from all the science and the measuring of ingredients, is that consistency is key. Everything needs to be uniform. Handy dandy, trusty. Handy dandy, trusty. God, I got water in there. Ice cream scoop. Never touched ice cream, not in this house. Only for baking. Okay, so what I like to do is scoop in and press against the bowl here. Okay, because I want all my scoops to kind of be the same. Okay, because then I know my cookies are all going to bake at the same time and they're all going to be the same consistency of cooked. Alright, and we are going to space them out a little bit. So that's what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and get a whole tray done and we'll take a look. Alright, they are nice evenly spaced. I have 12 per cookie sheet. They are going to bake out a bit, not by a whole lot. So I'm going to put these in a 350 degree preheated oven for 10 to 12 minutes. I say 10 to 12 minutes because it may vary depending on the temperature of the strength of your oven. So I always start at 10 minutes. I tell my timer to start for 10 minutes and then I check it. So at the 10-minute mark, we're going to come back and we're going to see what this looks like. Okay, so this is the 10-minute mark. I'm going to let them go for another 2 minutes. This oven is weaker, so total cook time in here is 12 minutes. I've known that. I just wanted to show you the steps in checking. Burnt cookies really suck balls. Okay, my timer's gone off. They look wonderful. We're gonna take out this one. I do have a secondary tray going just because I'm pressed for time with my meeting. Alexa, set a timer for 12 minutes.
Alexa, set a timer for 12 minutes.
Oh shoot, I apologize if I just set off your Alexa. But look at this. This is lovely. So it looks raw. It's not. I can guarantee you. So we're going to let it hang out here on the tray for 2 minutes. And then we're going to move it to a wired rack so that the air can go through it properly and cool it properly. So we're going to see you in 2 minutes. Okay. I've got pretty much all of them off. I just wanted to show you one. So you are going to want to line your tray with either parchment paper or a Silpat. Please do not use wax paper. And I want to show you the bottom so you see how absolutely beautiful and golden brown it is. It is lovely, it is caramelized, it is perfectly cooked. This is going to be one of those cookies that is ooey gooey and chewy, especially come tomorrow or by the second day. And we're just going to put it on a wired rack to cool. When these are not crazy burning hot, I will break one open for you. Yeah, I'm gonna have a bite for you too. It's happening. Alright, you ready for this? Let's pick one. They all look so yummy. Okay, so here's the bottom. Still quite hot. Completely cooked. Okay. Completely focus. Completely cooked. Lovely. Oh man. That's totally how I got fat in the first place and had to have gastric bypass 3 years ago. Anyways, someone else will finish that cookie. Won't be this girl. Damn, alright. This is my recipe. It's taken me, what, I dropped it. It's taken me about 6 years, maybe 7, to completely perfect this recipe. It is bomb diggity. It yields about 44 cookies with the size scoop that I use. Okay, yeah, I'm getting them going here. 350 degrees, crowd pleaser. And if you don't want to add chocolate chips, instead you can add some crushed peanuts just to make it a strict like nut cookie. Let's be real, this girl loves her some chocolate. So I hope you enjoy. Like, subscribe, share. If you have any other recipe or dish that you want me to make or baked good that you want me to make, let me know in the comments. What's your favorite cookie? Peanut butter chocolate chip are always my fave. But yeah, we'll see you next time. Deuces.